What's your name and which gender are you attracted to?
My name is Ashley, and I am attracted to men.
Okay. How old are you and what is your height?
I am 45 and I am 5 feet 8 inches.
Okay. What do you do professionally in life?
I own a digital marketing consultancy and short form film production company, and I work predominantly with nonprofits that combat human trafficking.
Oh, wow. How did you
Yeah.
get into human trafficking? Why human trafficking?
That's a long story that requires time and tequila, but the short version is I work very closely just with underrepresented people groups, and especially in America, the most trafficked but least looked for group of people are women from indigenous backgrounds and African American women, and, that really bothered me. It really bothered me that white women were hands down looked for
Mhm.
passionately, and underrepresented people groups were basically just kind of ignored, and since I was a little girl, I have been sort of like, I don't like anything that isn't fair or that isn't equal, and so it just sort of stuck in me that this is happening, and I'm not one to just not do anything about it. So, originally, I was the VP of marketing for an aerospace company, and I did that for a long time. And then I realized there are a lot of organizations that really need my skill set, and they don't necessarily know the strategy behind impactful storytelling. And so um, I decided that I was going to start helping them learn the strategy behind impactful storytelling. And then it just took off. So I've worked for myself. I've owned my company for 6 years. And yeah.
Wow, impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw your hashtag mompreneur in the
Yes.
house.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. Which country are you from and where are you located?
I am from the US and I live in Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay. Are you open for a long distance relationship?
Yes, provided that somebody is willing to move at some point. I think that long distance is fine as long as there's a time limit on that, and then someone has to relocate because otherwise, you know,
Yeah,
what's the point? I'm too old for permanent pen pals.
agree.
Yeah.
Are you flexible to relocate or would you want the person to come to
The
you?
person would need to relocate. I have a 7-year-old and I have joint custody with his dad, and so for the next 11 years, I'm very much stuck in Phoenix. I love Phoenix, it's fine. I've lived overseas before, so I have my legal Mexican residency, so I could live in Mexico anytime I wanted. So I'm not anti. I've lived in Cameroon, I've lived in
Girl,
Thailand, I've lived in
I'm from
Paraguay.
Cameroon. Sorry.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
I lived in Douala.
I am from Douala.
Yeah.
What are you doing in Cameroon? What brought you there?
I lived there to teach English, in an orphanage in Douala, and I loved it. I love Cameroon. I love Africa, the continent as a whole,
Mhm.
honestly.
Yeah.
Like, it's a phenomenal place.
Mm.
I think everyone should go, but, yeah, Douala's amazing. Yaoundé is great. We went to Kribi often, the beach town, which was lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Cameroon.
Love
Mhm.
to hear it. Wow. Okay, that's a weird coincidence.
Yes.
Nice. Okay, good to know. Do you speak other languages than English?
I speak Spanish fluently. I studied Arabic for a while. French, it gets
Mhm.
worse every day because I don't practice. In Arizona, there's a lot of Spanish speakers, so it's very
Mhm.
easy to. And I grew up in New Mexico, so it's predominantly Mexican American. So there's lots of Spanish
Oh,
speaking.
wow.
But yeah.
Okay. And can you give us something in Spanish? I want to hear something.
Oh, let's see. Let's see, we'll say, estudié español en la escuela por 5 años, pero yo hablo malo porque no practicas. Conozco las palabras, pero conjugación es muy difícil.
Sí, sí, sí. Nice. Okay. What did you say?
I said that I studied Spanish for many years,
Mhm.
but I don't speak as well as I should because I don't practice enough.
Mhm.
And that I know all of the words, but conjugating the verbs is difficult for me.
Okay, interesting. Hmm,
Yeah.
nice. Are you religious and are you interested in someone who's religious?
I am a Christ follower. I don't like using the word Christian because,
Mhm.
especially in America right now, that word has sort of been hijacked with
Yeah.
weird white evangelical nationalism being supportive of Donald Trump, who I am not a fan of. Um, so I I actually studied biblical theology at a graduate level, and I am an ordained minister, which is part of what I do with the human trafficking component. But would I say that I'm religious? No, I studied biblical theology because I really wanted to study the Bible for myself so that I
Mhm.
could learn what had been mistaught to me. And so much of it from a religious standpoint has been used to control people in negative ways for a really long time. And so, um, with that, it was important to me to just study it for myself. But do I want somebody who believes in God? Yes, who follows Christ, preferably, but actually, like, the brown Jesus, not the weird blonde, blue-eyed Jesus that they put all over everything, like the actual Jesus.
Yeah,
So
I
there's a
see.
distinction there for me, but yes, I would that's definitely my
Mhm.
preference.
I'm curious, but you don't have to answer.
Mhm.
Do you have an example as to what have been, as to something according to the Bible that you feel like you have been misinformed about, or something that has been misinterpreted?
Oh, girl, I could give you a list. Yeah, there's a lot of things. I mean, for starters, like,
But maybe something that has like touched you, or where you're like, oh, I'm surprised, or yeah.
yeah, so my younger brother is gay, and homosexuality, obviously, in the church is something that has been frowned upon to the point where whenever he was younger, he had like mental health issues because of it. But then whenever you really start delving into the proper translation. So whenever you're translating any holy book, you have to translate it literally, right? You have to know what the historical context is. Then
Mhm.
you have to know the linguistic context as well. And unfortunately, that's often set aside. And so I tell people, if you anytime you take text out of context, the only thing that's left is a con. And we use it to con people into aligning their ideas with what we want them to think instead of what it actually says. So for instance, one of the most quoted Bible verses that condemns homosexuality is in Leviticus, and it's saying that men are not supposed to lay with men, but in proper historical and literary and linguistic context, what the writer was in reference to was soldiers, and it was talking specifically about older soldiers who were in leadership authority actually assaulting younger soldiers. It wasn't talking about sexual relationships between two consenting adult males who loved each other. It was out in the middle of the boonies whenever they were fighting wars, like, it's not okay for you to SA younger soldiers. But and that's the proper translation of that, and people will get mad and they'll say, "Oh my gosh, you're heretical," and blah, blah, blah. But it's just it you are using it inaccurately to condemn an entire group of people, and that's not okay with me. Back to what I said at the beginning, I'm such like a what is justice and what is fair and what is right, and I think God is far less concerned about what consenting adults do with their genitalia than what we like to pretend like he is. Do you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
that's one. I mean, I could go
Yeah.
on and on.
No,
Premarital
no, but
sex,
I was just
there's
curious
a
as to
lot.
see what was
Yeah.
something that maybe has impacted your way of thinking. But okay, interesting. And let's move on. Have you been married before, and do you see yourself getting married?
I have been married before.
Mhm.
I don't know if I ever need the state to be involved in my relationship ever again. I think that, like, the idea of permanent commitment is beautiful to me, and the idea of aligning with someone and building with them is beautiful. I'm not sure I need a legal piece of paper
Mhm.
to solidify that. I'm not opposed to it, but it's not like a deal breaker for me either.
Mhm.
It's like
Mm,
either way, you know.
okay, and you say you have been married. How long have you been married for?
I was married for 7 years.
Okay. We'll get to the divorce part later. So,
Mhm.
yeah, let's move on first. You already mentioned that you have a 7-year-old, but how many children do you have in total?
I have 3 kids. I have a 22-year-old daughter, a 20-year-old son, and then the 7-year-old. So I have a big gap. Yeah.
Okay. And are you open to date someone with children?
I am, provided that there's no drama with the co-parent. So I am very fortunate that my co-parenting dynamic is very healthy and very respectful. And so my two older kids have one dad, and then my younger son has a different dad. And it's the same with both men. I get along with my younger son's stepmother brilliantly. She's a phenomenal human.
Mhm.
My older kids' dad, obviously, they're grown, so we don't have to interact quite at
Yeah.
the same level at this point. But his girlfriend is a phenomenal human. Like, there's just no nonsense. And we all, both of my big kids' dad and my younger son's dad, they get along fine. We do birthday parties as this big, giant weird modern family. There's just no catty cattiness and backbiting and,
It's
like,
always good to hear. Nice.
yeah, so if somebody has children and they co-parent like that, I'm all for it. If I
Mhm.
have to worry about a crazy woman slashing my tires, then I'm not, no.
Okay. I'm just curious, what are your kids mixed with is what I'm trying
My
to
older kids are Latino, their dad is,
Mhm.
from Mexico, and
Ah,
they're dual citizens with Mexico, and then my younger son's dad is Black, so
oh, okay.
I have the whole it's like the United Nations around
I
here.
see, I see. Okay, interesting.
Mhm.
And but you're done with kids or are you open to getting
Oh,
more?
I'm all the way done.
Okay, okay.
Girl, if I found out I was pregnant now, you'd have to commit me. I would yeah, no.
Okay, good to know. Something else. What do you enjoy to do in your free time?
I love to travel. I travel as much as humanly possible, both in the country and abroad. I read a lot. I work out a lot. I spend time with girlfriends, but I'm also really fortunate that I genuinely love what I do. And
Mhm.
so I work a lot and people talk about balance, but it makes me happy. Like I genuinely love what I do. And so being able to um align with people and hear their stories and tell their stories and make the beautiful because my business partner and I make really beautiful like cinematic storytelling pieces that are short format that are usually between like 3 and 7 minutes long. Um, but I love it, and so it's funny because even on days I'm like, "I'm not gonna work today," I'll get in an Uber or something, and I'll just start asking them questions, and they start telling me their story, and then I'm like, "Oh my gosh, we need to set up an interview. I need to interview you and, record this," and
Yeah.
so I'm one of those weirdos that I work a lot for fun. Yeah,
Look, if you love it, you can do it every day. I know
every
what you're
day.
talking about. Do you have a salary requirement for your future partner?
No. I mean, don't be broke. Like, I don't wanna have to pay for you, Like,
Yeah.
I feel like they need to that's tricky because I think that women in today's society miss out on really good men
Yeah.
because they're like, "Oh, you've gotta make 6 figures," whenever the median range of like, most people make, like, $55,000. So you're missing out on, like, a whole huge chunk of men between 55,000 and 100,000
Totally
that
agree.
are loyal and kind and hardworking, and so no, provided that they're okay with I mean, I make decent money, so provided that they're okay with me making more money than them and don't turn it into an issue, I don't really care. But you need to be employed and you need to be ambitious and have goals.
Yeah.
Although, that being said, if you are happy as a clam and you're a phenomenal elementary school math teacher, then I want you to do that, like I don't need you to be some yeah, no, I
Yeah,
don't think
makes sense. Okay. Are you willing to contribute into the relationship financially? For example, you are sharing a home together, whatever. Are you willing to do like 50-50, or how do you imagine that?
for me, yeah, I don't care about that. I think that there's more than one way to protect and provide. So I
Mhm.
think that men are naturally supposed to protect women and provide for women. But for me, like given the work that I do, for instance, the crazy things that I hear is nonstop. I mean, it's a very heavy emotional load,
Mhm.
right? Whenever you're listening to stories from girls that have been trafficked, it's a lot. Like you hear just heinous things. So for me, provision for me is providing an emotionally safe space. Like,
Mhm.
if a man wants to provide for me, he's very honest about where he's at and what he's doing. He's very transparent about his telephone, and he's very capable of allowing me the space to come in and be like, "Oh my gosh, I just heard this horrible thing. I need to process it, and now I'm crying and upset." Like, he's able to hold space for that. That's far more important to me than a man paying 100% of the mortgage.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? He
Yeah.
needs to contribute to the bills for sure, but I'm not like, "Thou
Okay.
shalt pay all the bills."
All right,
That's
good.
yeah.
Next question. What are your deal breakers in a man or in a relationship?
Oh, deal breakers. I mean, there's like the normal ones, right? Don't cheat, don't lie,
Yeah.
don't be sneaky, you know. Deal breakers, rudeness for any reason, like to people that are trying to help you, servers, bank tellers, like don't be a jerk. I have a weird one. I can two things, and it both involves smell. Please do not wear like Axe body spray. If the top note of your cologne is alcohol and the bottom note is aerosol, we have a problem. Like, I can't, like, cannot.
Okay.
Especially because I mean, I should be dating grown men because I'm a grown woman. So, like,
Mhm.
where are you getting this horrible body spray? And then round second thing is I should not be able to smell you like 6 feet away from you.
Oof.
Like, I mean, like, cologne should be an intimate thing, like, I should be within, like, 2 feet of you before I can smell you, so if you're a walking cloud of Axe body spray, it's a huge deal breaker for me. I just cannot.
Okay.
I cannot.
Uh, Do you have something else to add, like as to in a relationship or
I mean, you need to have emotional intelligence, like, be able
Mhm,
to read the room, you need to be able to articulate how you're feeling and I can hold space. I think a lot of times women will say they want a man who's capable of expressing themselves emotionally, but then they don't create a safe space for the man to be able to do that. Um, I am very capable of creating a safe space for a man to do that. So I expect him to have the emotional intelligence to know when he needs to articulate if something's bothering him, whether it's with
mhm.
us or in the world. So just a high level of emotional intelligence, I would say.
What are your physical preferences in a partner?
Um, they need to be as tall as me. They don't have to be way taller than me, but
Mhm,
as tall is important to me. So like 5'8" or taller. That's a preference. I prefer men who work out because I work out, and so they don't need to be like the Incredible Hulk or anything, like that's fine. But just being very conscientious of the fact that they are taking care of their bodies and are healthy. Because that's probably my biggest fear in a relationship. I've experienced some crazy things in relationships, except I've never had a man die on me, and I don't really want that to be something I have
mhm.
to experience. So, like, take care of yourself,
What do you
go to the
mean?
gym.
Do you have experienced some crazy things and you don't want someone to die on you?
Girl,
What? Did I miss something?
let me tell you, I mean, just in relationship, I've had some crazy relationships, marriage, and then also just in
Mhm,
dating. Like, I could tell you some stories. So I've had some crazy traumatic things happen at the hands of men, and I've been to therapy, so that's all fine.
mhm,
But like, I've had emotional abuse, affairs, like all kinds of crazy things.
okay.
And um but I've never experienced the only bad thing I've never experienced with a man is being madly in love and him just dropping dead. And so that's like a weird fear that I have. It's like I'll find this amazing human and we'll build this amazing life and then he's just gonna keel over. So he needs
Yeah.
to work out so he mitigates that?
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. What are you looking for in a partner character-wise?
Ooh, consistency. I feel like trust is built in little things. So, if you say you're going to call, you call. If you say
Mhm.
you're going to show up, you show up. It's those
And
little bitty things that my mom and dad have been happily married for 49 years. Um, and
yeah.
they both say that the foundation of trust is built in little bitty things. It's not grand gestures and, it's do if you say that you're going to, you know, pay the electric bill on time, that you do that. And it sounds like such a small no-brainer thing, but and then my dad always says, "Never lie about anything,"
Mm.
which means, like, even if this is funny, but if you're like, "Do you like how I look in this dress?" If you don't like how they look in the dress, then you need to tell them no.
Yeah.
Because if a woman asks, "Do I look good in this dress?" She already knows she doesn't look good in the dress, and if you tell her she does, you just lied to her, right? Like, you know, if I'm
Yeah, but
like,
I think it's also hard for the man because it's like, "Oh, what do I gotta say?" You know, you don't
right,
wanna hurt
right,
his
right,
her
right.
feelings, so
But
but I
that
get
goes
what you're saying.
Yeah, that goes back to what I was saying about holding space for what you say that you want, though. So if
Mm,
I say that I really want an honest partner, and then I ask him a question, I have to hold space for whatever his answer is, right? But I'm
mm,
also, if I know that I look fat in a pair of pants, I'm not going to ask him, "Do I look fat in
yeah.
these pants?"
But I think
But
finally it's
anyway,
about the way you express something.
hmm
So if he says, "No, maybe you should have wear this one," it's different than to say, you look ugly. Sorry," and like,
100%.
yeah,
But don't lie about it is the
yeah,
point. Like, it's
mm,
those little tiny things that we, in an attempt sometimes, I think, to protect our partner's feelings, we cause like micro nano cracks in trust. Whereas, I'd rather have a hard truth than a beautiful lie, you know?
yeah,
So, I think that that's something character-wise. I just have grown up with a really phenomenal father who is like a salt of the earth kind of guy. He genuinely cares about people, and he does things for people without the expectation of getting things back. And he's just a very selfless, kind,
hmm
but very masculine human being, and so I look for those same traits. Like, is this person, does he
hmm
care about the people around him? Is he willing to sacrifice himself for the good of other people? Not just me, but I mean, like, in society, is
hmm
he aware of what's going on with humanity, and is he willing to, um, do something about the things that he sees that aren't good?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. When was your last relationship and why did it end?
My last relationship ended last year, but basically, he had come out of a very, very hard situation. And he was sort of thrust into a whole lot of responsibility at once. And then he also decided to go get his doctorate all at the same time.
Hmm
And managing himself and some very deep-seated trauma that he needed to deal with, there was just a lot going on, and so he recognized in that moment he was not capable of focusing on his own internal needs the way he needed to, and go to school, and be a clinical, professional. He does counseling.
hmm
There was just a lot, and so it didn't end because of anything crazy. It just the timing was bad, and so we parted ways because it was what was best, in that season for that person. And yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
don't really have big dramatic breakups. Like, I feel like I'm fairly emotionally mature, and
Yeah.
therefore some people are just not your person forever. Some people are meant to come into your life to teach you things, or to improve you in some way, or to show you, like, absolutely hell no, I do not want that, whatever it is,
Yeah.
and having just the ability to walk away from things like that
hmm
with the lesson, and then build it into yourself and then move forward, I think is really key.
mm
But yeah, it ended last year. So, and I've casually dated. I mean, I'm casually dating now, but there hasn't been anyone else that I'm like, yes, I think I
hmm
will commit to this person.
And how long did that last relationship last, if I may ask?
About 5 months. It was
Okay.
fairly short, but about 5 months.
But when you say that there were things going on and that there was nothing that serious as to how do I say it? I mean, yes, serious as in he had a lot going on, but was it something that you initiated or
No, it was something that he initiated. He without putting his business out there, because I really don't feel like it's my
yeah.
place to say
No, 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 don't do
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh it was just, he just came to me and he said, "I feel like you deserve this.
Okay, I understand. Okay.
And I, at this stage, cannot give you this,
Okay, I agree. Okay.
because I'm so focused on all of these other things.
Mhm.
And you are further along in your life. So your career is far more set. Your kids, you have that. Like, you are very, very established, and I'm very, very not. at
Okay.
this moment. And then the
Okay.
other thing was he didn't have any of his own children.
Mhm.
And as we discussed that, it became evident that that's something that he
Mhm.
genuinely wanted. And I'm not your girl for that. Like I make very pretty babies, but there I'm done. Like
Time is
there's
up.
no more of those.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are valid reasons. Okay, I understand. Um,
Yeah.
then I have another question. You have two kids by no, you have three kids by two men.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
mentioned. Why did that not work out?
Oh, the older one, so he, like I said, he grew up in Mexico. I grew up here. Whenever we met, we were just young and in like, I say all the time I mixed Jose Cuervo and Jose Gonzalez, and now I have a 22-year-old, and that's basically how that happened. It was just like tequila and you know, like good
Okay.
times. I was
Mm,
22. Whenever she was born. So really, we were just very fundamentally different people. Like he really wanted a very traditional wife who wanted to stay home and cook and clean and do all of that. That is not who I am. I mean, I cook and I clean. I'm actually a great cook, but my career has always been really important to me
mm,
and having that component, and that was something that just it we just didn't fit. And we got together when we were really young and had a couple of kids, and really how our relationship ended, we just innately knew like we just don't belong together romantically, and
mm,
we sat down and had a conversation and agreed that we needed to raise our children in the most healthy way that we could with a lot of respect for one another, and if we stayed together it would not have happened,
mm.
like it just would not have. And so we hugged each other and he moved out and we've been really great friends. Like there's just been no
We hugged each
like
other and you moved out.
there's just no, like
Okay.
it
Okay.
wasn't some big awful dramatic thing. It was
Mhm.
just not we just weren't supposed to be,
Okay, fair.
and then the younger kid's dad, oh lordy, that man, unbeknownst to me, whenever we got together, had severe childhood trauma that led to a serious sex addiction. And I did not know that. And he cheated on me with 11 different women that I know about. Yeah, 11. I found out about 6 of them in one day. All 6 of them were going on simultaneously. Yes.
Uh-huh.
And, he was lying about going to work. It was just insane. So when I found out about that, um, he begged me not to leave him. We stayed together. He was going to therapy, I was going to therapy, we were going to therapy, but these women just kept coming out of the woodwork, kept coming, kept coming. So I finally was like, I'm finished with this, and I moved out, and then 3 weeks later, I found out I was pregnant
Oh
with
my
our son.
gosh.
So the crazy thing was with that, we had been told by a doctor that we would not get pregnant without medical intervention because of him, because his semen and blah blah blah. So like we had tried for a couple because he didn't have any kids when we got together. So we had
Mhm.
tried for a couple of years to get pregnant, and my mom used to joke. She'd be like, "Ashley, you can look at a penis and get pregnant." And so I joked and said, "I just will start having sex with my eyes closed." She did not think that that was funny. I thought it was funny. Yeah,
Mhm.
she didn't. But fast forward, we were trying and trying, and I wasn't getting pregnant, which was very, very odd,
Mhm.
So we went through all the rigmarole, and they're like, "It's not you, it's him." And they're like, "The odds of you getting pregnant naturally is less than 1%."
Mhm.
Less than 1%.
Wow.
So then all this stuff comes up and all these women, and then we hadn't had, because I'm sure you want to know, we hadn't had sex in months. Then the
Mhm.
last time I had sex, that's when I got pregnant. And it was like angry. I was about to leave him. It was like angry, I hate you sex. Um, and then I move out, and then I was so tired and all this stuff. And and I had started a higher level position at the aerospace company. So I just thought I'm stressed, blah, blah, blah. No. My 1% baby is at the elementary school down the street right now.
Damn, where's my tea when I need it? It's hot.
Right, right, and we've never been together
Mhm,
in Justice's my son's name's Justice, in his whole life,
mhm,
I moved out and found out I was pregnant, I did the pregnancy by myself,
mhm,
and now his father is a phenomenal father, thank God, he's very actively involved, um, and he's remarried, and I don't know if that will last. It's not my circus, not my monkeys. The man has not gone to therapy since, so who knows? But
mhm,
whatever. He's
mhm.
a great dad. Great dad.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the most important thing in the end, but, how did you find out that he cheated? Like, does the woman just contacted you or
No, girl, let me tell you, because I am like a super sleuth. I should be in the FBI. Uh, no, so my best friend at the time was stationed in Germany. And
Mhm,
so because she was in Germany, I had WhatsApp.
mhm,
So WhatsApp automatically syncs all of your phone numbers, right, to your
mhm,
WhatsApp account. So he showed up in my WhatsApp account, and I'm like, in America, we don't use WhatsApp. Like
mhm,
for what? Unless you have people that live overseas, there's absolutely no reason for you to have it, unless you're a shady, low down cheater. So he showed up in WhatsApp,
mhm,
and I there'd been some other things, right, that I was
mhm,
like, this
mhm.
something's shady here.
Shady.
Yeah, like I just feel it, something's off. So I started paying attention, and every morning he would get up and go into the bathroom and he would be on WhatsApp.
Mhm,
Like you can see if somebody's online. And then he would get out and he wouldn't be on WhatsApp. Then whenever he was at work, he would be on WhatsApp. So anyway, so I decided I'm like something's going on with this WhatsApp.
mhm,
So I go through our cell phone bill, and every single phone number that he had called that I didn't recognize, I put into my phone, just
mhm.
to put the number. And they all showed up in my WhatsApp and they were all women, all women. So then I start noticing every time he's on WhatsApp, they're on WhatsApp.
Oh my god.
So I'm like, he's talking to these women. Like
Mhm,
there's like a one-off call to this random number. Now it's only on WhatsApp. He's not calling them on his phone. It's all done on WhatsApp because obviously that's not showing up on the phone bill.
mhm.
So men are not as smart as women. Respectfully, gentlemen, I'm sorry, you're just not. Um, I his phone was on my phone bill.
Mhm.
So there's this handy dandy little app that will record every 5 minutes. It'll take a screenshot of whatever's on your phone.
Really?
Yes,
Girl.
ma'am. Yeah. So I put that on his phone. He didn't know, but it's
Mhm.
not illegal because it's my phone on my phone bill.
Yeah.
So I put it on his phone. Girl, he was literally copy paste the exact same conversations to all of those women on WhatsApp. He was having the exact same conversation with all of them every day.
Oh, Lord.
And meanwhile, this is while we're going through fertility treatments, so trying to have a baby on purpose.
Mhm,
And he's telling these women that we just lived together because of financial reasons and that we'd really broken up a long time ago, but he's planning to move out. This all the while, like we're going to the freaking gynecologist, having them wash his semen and inject it directly into my cervix because his semen weren't swimming, like crazy stuff.
one word, that man is capable.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So anyway,
Yeah.
obviously, I contacted all of the women, sent them all the screenshots of each other, and just let them deal with him. I
Yeah,
didn't even
yeah.
really have to deal with him. But like I said, he begged me not to leave, not to end the relationship. And so I stayed for almost a full year. And then it just didn't stop. Like women
Mhm.
just, and then while I was pregnant, I had a woman stalking me at work because she was
Mhm.
like, I want to make sure he's not cheating on me with you. And I'm like, girl, I don't want him. Like, please keep
You can
him,
have him, girl.
take him.
I
So
see.
yeah, so that's why that relationship ended.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
interesting. Thanks for the tip.
Oh girl, I have stories for days. Yeah.
Okay, what is the age range that you're looking for?
I would say probably 38 to 48.
Mhm.
A little bit older would be fine if they're active. Um, yeah, but you have to be active and remember that I have a 7-year-old. Like that's
Mhm.
I
Mm,
mean, because he's
mhm.
very active. So
Mhm.
you have to have a solid 10 years of basketball games and, you know,
Yeah. I
school
see, I see.
plays and like all that stuff has to be in you. Yeah.
Alright. So we arrived at the body cam. This is the part where you put your phone somewhere, go to the back, do a 360, and then come back.
Oh, okay. I'm glad I put on pants.
I always forget to say, get dressed from head to toe.
Oh, yeah. I don't have anything super cute on. I would have put on something cuter, but okay. Let's see if I can prop you up. Yeah, and this isn't very this doesn't really
Okay. Nice. What are two flaws of yours? Two things you feel like you need to work on or that you have been criticized in past relationships about?
I am stubborn. Stubborn, stubborn,
Mm.
stubborn. Yeah. If I dig my heels in, it's like game over. I'm working on that, trying to be not quite as stubborn. For sure. And then I am not great at expressing emotions. Like
Mhm,
I could really, really, really love someone and it's difficult for me to articulate that. Like
mhm,
that's also I'm in therapy for that specific
mhm.
thing. So with my kids, I'm fine. Like my parents, I'm fine. My girlfriends, I'm fine. But like in a romantic dynamic, it's very difficult for me to be like, I'm feeling this. I don't do well with
Interesting.
that. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Last question. Why would a man be lucky to be with you?
Oh, I mean, lots of reasons. I feel like I'm very open-minded and a strong communicator and adventurous and I don't know, have a good sense of humor. Like I love well, it's funny because I have a hard time expressing my emotions, but I
Mhm,
love really hard. So like if I love someone, like there's no question they know that I do because of just how I am with
mhm.
them, I'm nurturing and caring and contribute and all of those things. So yeah.
And you forgot you're a great cook.
I am a great cook. I am a great cook, yeah.
What would be the first meal you would make him?
Well, I mean, that depends. Like I grew up eating a lot of beef because I grew up in the middle of nowhere on a huge plot of land, and so we just ate a
Mhm,
lot of beef. So usually if I'm trying to impress someone, I usually will like grill tri-tip and make like asparagus and potatoes and it's very like meat and
mhm.
potatoes thing. But I follow very specific macros myself. So if it
Mhm.
was just like a random Tuesday, you're probably getting chicken and broccoli. That's what you're
Yeah.
getting because that's what I'm eating. So
Yeah. We're at the end. How can people contact you? Please spell out your Instagram name. I will also write it in the description box for the ones who
mhm.
didn't catch it, but please spell it out.
Yeah, it's Ms. MS Ashley Ashley Lagos Lagos, all one word, just Ms. Ashley Lagos.
All right. If you have an update, if someone contacts you, please let me know. I want the update. I want the tea. I want all the
Yeah.
tea. And yeah, I wish you good luck. Maybe you'll find
Thank
your
you.
future partner. And I wish you a great day.
Yes, thank you. Have a
Thank
good
you.
one.
Bye.
Bye.